South East Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick.
South East Radio.
Well, pitching your business as a startup is a key skill that needs to be honed in order to secure the necessary capital to grow your business. And now South East BIC is looking for the best pitchers in the region to compete in its big pitch competition. Rosemary Ward from South East BIC joins us now to tell us more. Rosemary, before we discuss the Big Pitch 2022, remind us about the work which South East BIC does.
Morning, Karl. Well, here in the southeast, in the 5 counties of the southeast, that's Waterford, Wexford, Carlow, Kilkenny and Tipperary, we work with high potential startups who are going along a journey heading towards either pre-seed or seed funding. And we work with them throughout their business modelling, business planning and investor readiness processes to get them ready to pitch to angels, to VCs, to funds, and ultimately get hopefully matched or balanced funding from Enterprise Ireland. So we support the companies throughout that process, assisting them in their strategy and their planning and getting them ready to be prepared to succeed in an investment round.
For anyone listening to this morning's show that's currently in college, that has that entrepreneurial gene, what advice have you got for them?
I think what we'd love to see when we see people coming in with good ideas and good concepts and a really strong solution to an obvious problem, it's important that you get some experience. So that experience in an early stage startup or a startup that's scaling, the likes in Wexford spring to mind, or Hoop Medical, or Scurry, Sonru, these companies where you learn from a potential multinational and not necessarily a multinational. So it would be great to get a great experience with an Irish startup who's planning to scale internationally and learn everything you can from them.
So for those potential entrepreneurs that come out of college, what are your thoughts in terms of how well prepared they are for that entrepreneurial journey, given the skills that they possess?
I think in my day, we were trained in college to go and work for multinationals or big banks. The colleges now and the universities are responding really well to the potential entrepreneurial elements of their students' future life. And it's great to see that they are preparing themselves for the entrepreneurial world. However, we're still seeing a lot of founders who've got potentially very technical experience, not understanding the commercial realities and the commercial potential of their opportunity. And it's really, really important. Investors are looking for a fully formed founding team. They're looking for an entire business model built around the solution or the piece of technology, and that's what helps them de-risk their investment. So if you don't have those skills, if you're very technical, it will be a really good idea to engage with other people and bring on co-founders who have that commercial ability.
And provide us with an insight into the types of businesses that are coming through the pipeline at South East BIC at the moment.
Well, we see a lot of software companies. We see a lot of what we would call enterprise SaaS, software as a service companies. So these are business-to-business startups who are selling enterprise solutions to potentially multinationals or medtech companies or pharma companies. So we see those across all different sectors. They're very appealing to investors because there is a strong potential monthly recurring revenue. They're business to business, so the value and the volume appeals to investors. So we see a lot of that software side of things. There's also quite a lot of medtech and pharma, particularly here in the southeast.
It's a much easier proposition to fund a business-to-business related service than it is a business-to-consumer.
Yeah, you're dead right, Karl. There's definitely investors find it a lot easier to be able to identify a very clear segment of a market with the startup team and to be able to map out the potential revenue. Much harder to do with a consumer product where usually the value of the product is lower, the volume has to be much higher, and the cost of marketing and creating a brand around something is very top heavy at the start of the process. So yeah, traditionally in Ireland, getting seed investment for a business-to-business opportunity is easier than getting it for a business-consumer product. However, the really good stuff rises to the top, and I think in Wexford you have a really good example of the likes of Bean and Goose and other companies who have done really well in that space.
And Rosemary, with record employment levels, is this a disincentive for people to actually go out and start their own business and to take that risk right now?
Yeah, it probably is. And, you know, we're coming out of 2 years of uncertainty following COVID. We're also looking now at some economic uncertainty with energy issues, etc., and the war in Ukraine. So when people are in a very good job with good salaries and good benefits, it's very hard to expect them to jump and make that entrepreneurial leap. So, sometimes it doesn't do the entrepreneurial world a lot of good when there's high employment.
Coming out, of course, as you say, of COVID, there could be a recession on the way globally. So how are investors now responding to that in terms of what they're deciding to fund right now?
Yeah, investors, obviously, they will move with the markets a little bit, and they're looking as much at what's happening in Ireland and in their own portfolio as they are looking internationally. So investors are looking to de-risk. So their aim is to ensure that they are picking good winners at all times and not taking too much of a risk on projects that they're not sure about. So the only way that founders can assist in that process is to show commercial traction. So building a commercial strategy, building a sales process, getting a pipeline, getting traction and getting real sight of revenue is what turns investors on. And they are more and more focused on companies who are at that stage now for seed investment.
The people that you're seeing that are being successful in securing funding, how would you describe them? What are the common traits?
Yeah, I suppose one of the great, and I mentioned it already, is that commercial ability. So founding teams, when there's just a pure tech founder on their own, investors find it difficult to invest in them. So having a good commercial co-founder who's done this type of sales before, who knows how to build a sales model, a sales management plan, and build out a pipeline and understand the sales process. So there's lots of fantastic bits of tech out there and lots of solutions to great problems, but not everybody can commercialize them. And it's the founding team that can tick all those boxes. That's what's really appealing to investors.
I do want to speak to you next about the Big Pitch competition because it returns this year. So what are the objectives of it?
Yeah, we're really excited to have the Big Pitch back for their third year in a row. We started it as part of a celebration of our 25th anniversary, and we've continued it on due to popular demand. So we're always looking to find the next good startup. And it's not just the next big idea, it's the next good startup that's going to come out of the South East. So this is one way of trying to, promote South East BIC and what we do, but also try and unearth these next top startups that are going to appear in the region and encourage that entrepreneurial spirit in the region and get people who may be half thinking of getting involved to push them along. So we really want to attract good, high potential startup teams or founders who are along the way with their project and who are hoping to move towards seed investment over the next 18 months. We want to get our hands on them now.
And if founders across the South East are interested in participating in the Big Pitch this year, can you provide us with an overview of the process that they will follow?
Yeah, so at the moment on our website, southeastbic.ie, you'll find all the information about the Big Pitch. You'll get an application form there. So companies do need to be less than 5 years old. They need to have that potential for ambition and scale. And you can apply a very short application form there. We're going to shortlist then 3 of those companies to pitch at the final on the 29th of November at the Medieval Museum in Waterford. It's our first live one. The last 2 years, unfortunately, the Big Pitch has been subject to COVID, so we ended up having both our finals online. So this year we're delighted to bring it back in person. So 3 companies will pitch on the morning of the 29th for the prize of €5,000. Are
there businesses in particular sectors that you'd like to receive applications from?
We're focused on startups in, internationally traded services, food, medtech, pharma, etc. So startups who believe that they can grow and scale internationally and grow to at least €1 million in turnover within 3 years. So these are internationally focused high potential startups that we're looking for to apply.
In terms of the pitch itself then, what are the major do's and don'ts associated with delivering an effective pitch?
Yeah, so we run the Halo Business Angel Network here in the Southeast, and we had an investor forum every 6-8 weeks where companies, our startups who we prepare pitch to a group of high net worth individuals or business angels who have registered with us. So we're always looking to identify what is the big story that you're creating, what is that big goal that you have as a startup, but what is the problem that you've identified and what exactly is the solution and how have you proved that you have the solution. So what market interaction you have had, what customer discovery you've done, who you've spoken to, who are your potential customers. So while we love the technology and we love what the problem and the solution is, we really want to know, is anyone going to be interested in buying from you? So that commercial traction and commercial proof and validation is really, really important.
So who will be judging the Big Pitch 2022, and specifically, what will they be looking for?
Well, we're really lucky this year that the local enterprise offices, the 4 local enterprise offices of the South East, Wexford, Waterford, Carlow and Kilkenny, have joined with us to help us sponsor it to boost our prize fund. So we'll have a member of representative from them. We'll have our colleagues from Enterprise Ireland. We'll have some of our angels from the Halo Business Angel Network. So these are people who are really experienced in assessing projects and understanding what's going to go forward and get that pre-seed or seed funding that they need. So they'll be looking for a really strong founding team. They'll be looking for a very evident problem and solution that they know can scale. And they'll be looking for somebody who can really pitch, and who then ultimately we want those, the people who pitch to the big pitch, we want them pitching to our angels and to our investment network over the next 18 months.
Finally, remind us about the application details and the relevant timelines involved.
Yeah, so the application form is available on southeastbic.ie online, and the closing date for it is next Thursday, the 10th. We'll let you know within about 5 or 6 days if you've been shortlisted to pitch, and we'll give you a little bit of preparation support and let you know what you need to do. And then you'll come and pitch live to our judges and to our invited guests on the 29th in the Medieval Museum.
Well, if you've just tuned in, that was Rosemary Ward from South East BIC, and I would certainly encourage eligible startup entrepreneurs in Wexford to submit an application before Thursday's deadline.
South East Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick.
South East.